Hi everyone, and welcome to our Kids Zone Online this week. I hope that you've been enjoying learning about Elijah, and we only have one more week after this week of learning about his story in the Bible. This week we are learning about how Elijah shows us that we need friends, and in the story Elijah is really struggling and he meets a friend at the end that helps him get through it and helps him do his job better. So this week I am going to read you the story and then I'm going to do some activities at the end that you can follow. So let's get started. Did you ever have a big job to do? A job that was just too big to do by yourself, like cleaning your room when it was really messy. That's a job I have to do a lot. Or making a present for your mum, or writing a note to your friend when you don't know how to spell some words, or trying to find something that you just can't find. Having to do something that is hard all by yourself is really frustrating. Isn't it great when someone offers to help you out with something? Just having a friend there, it makes the job easier. Friends are great to have around when you're feeling down or you need some help. Everyone likes to have help when they have a big job to do. As we have been learning the last couple of weeks, God gave Elijah a really big job to do. We learnt about Elijah and how he stood up against the prophets of Baal and King Ahab, and he won. God proved that he was the one and only God by bringing fire and rain, but that wasn't the end of the story. After the contest on Mount Carmel, where God had sent fire and rain, King Ahab went down the mountain and complained to his wife. Can you remember what her name was? Say it now. Queen Jezebel. He said with a pout, "It isn't fair. Elijah, I do declare, when he said that prayer, fire came out of thin air. It was everywhere, and all I could do was stare." When Queen Jezebel heard this, she was so angry she could hardly speak. She clenched her fists and said, "Elijah, Elijah, oh how I hate that man, and I will kill him. That's my plan." Elijah was so scared when he heard that, he ran away. He ran for days and days until he could not run anymore. He saw a tree and plopped himself down beneath it. He kept hearing those words that Queen Jezebel said, "Elijah, Elijah, oh how I hate that man. I will stop him if I can, and I will kill him. That's my plan." Those words were making him scared, and he fell asleep. He felt so bad. Then he curled up under a tree and fell asleep. Even in his dream he could hear those words about that Queen Jezebel said. The next thing he knew, an angel had awakened him and told him to eat. Then right beside him was some bread baking on a fire and a glass of water. He ate it and drank, and he fell asleep again. He could still hear those words. Again, the angel woke him up and said, "You need to eat." Then Elijah got up and he kept running. As he travelled, he could hear those words in his head. "Elijah, Elijah, oh how I hate that man. I will stop him if I can, and I will kill him. That's my plan." He kept hearing those words. This time he travelled 40 days and nights until he came to a mountain. He found a cave, he crawled inside and fell asleep. The next morning he heard God ask him, "What are you doing here, Elijah?" Elijah answered him, "I have worked so hard for you, God. I have done everything you've asked me. They have killed all your men, and now they want to kill me too." But God told Elijah, "You're not the only one, and you don't have to run. You're not alone. Your work, Elijah, has just begun. It's not finished. But I will send you someone who will help you get things done. God told him to go back down the mountain and he would find a man named Elisha. It's quite similar to the name Elijah, who would help him and be his friend. Elijah went down from the mountain and saw a man ploughing the fields. He thought, for sure, this must be Elisha. Elijah went up to him and threw his coat across his shoulders. Elisha knew that Elijah wanted him to come with him and be his friend and helper. Elisha told him that he would go with him as soon as he went and said goodbye to his family. Elijah and Elisha became great friends and prophets of God. So Elijah was feeling really sad and down, like he couldn't do the job on his own, but Elisha came along and helped him and he was able to do it. That's kind of like when we have a big job to do. It's much better when we have a friend to do it with us. So this week we are learning how when God has something difficult for us to do, He will always be there to help us with it, and we can ask Him for help, and He gives us friends to help us through hard times. So this week we are going to learn about appreciating our friends and our different people in our bubble. This week, for a game, I want you to set up a super awesome obstacle course in your house. And then with your bubble, whether it's your parents or anyone that's staying with you or your siblings, your brothers and sisters, I want you to do a 3-legged race and see how you can work together to get to the goal of getting through the obstacle race. So you could put chairs that you have to go over or cushions that you have to stand on. I want you to work together with the people in your bubble. And I've got some colouring in for you guys to do, and that will be really fun. I love seeing how colourful you guys are making all your colouring ins. The craft this week I'll show you now. So we're making a photo frame. Okay, so this is my friend Danette, and so I'm going to glue the picture on, and I want my photo frame to go here, so I'm going to cut it nice and straight. And then using whatever decorations you want, you might have some glitter or some paint. I've just got my colourful pens, so that's what I'm going to use. And I want you to look up our memory verse for the week, which is Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verses 9 and 10. So I'm going to draw this as pretty as I can, all around the outside. Alright, now that I've done that, I'm going to decorate this photo of my friend Danette with all the things that she likes and all the things that we like to do together, because when we work together, we make things more fun. So, and we can work better together, just like the memory verse. And now I'm going to look up our memory verse of the week. Okay, so here's our finished photo frame. It's very simple, but it's going to be a great gift to give to your friends when you can see them and you can tell them how much you appreciate them. Alright, and another activity that we're going to do is on Kids Zone on Sunday, I'm going to give you a name and I want you to write that person a special note. And so you're only going to be able to write your note to your friend from Kids Zone on Sunday when it's Kids Zone time. And you can decorate it, you can make it so pretty, and then you can get your parents to send me a photo of it and I will send it to that person so that you can tell them what a good friend they are and that you can appreciate them and tell them what you like about them, because it's really nice to be kind to our friends. And the build challenge this week is something to do with making a gift for somebody in your bubble. So you could bake somebody a gift, you could build them a Lego creation, you could draw them a beautiful picture, you could write them a letter. I want you to do something special and loving to somebody in your bubble. It could be your brother or sister, it could be your parents. And I know it's been 4 weeks of being in the same house, seeing the same people over and over again. So we might be starting to get a little bit annoyed at our brothers or sisters or our family. And we need to remember that we need to remember to appreciate them and love them, even though they might be getting a little bit on our nerves. The people are in our bubble are our friends, and we need to love them. So make sure that you do this challenge, because I know somebody in your bubble, like your mum or dad, would really love it for you to do something special for them. So that is your challenge this week. Make sure you send me a photo if you can. Alright everyone, so that is all our challenges for this week. I can't wait to see how you go on them, and I can't wait to... Alright everyone, that is it for this week. Thank you for watching, and thank you for seeing all the challenges, and I can't wait to see you next week. Bye bye!